From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LA Late.
It's a big evening on Evenings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 in tonight's recording. We'll go over the breaking news, and it was really a lot of enormous breaking news happening today about your fourth stimulus check. We'll go over what the Democrats want you to have and why the breaking news signals potential more checks could be happening. Then we'll be going to the second part of this video about the recon process. And while we haven't heard a lot about unemployment extension, student loan debt forgiveness, and other items that need to be added into the recon, the economic data today says if they don't add it in there, this president could be losing the midterm elections. That economic data today signals you need the stimulus. In the third part of this video, we'll be going over the voting process, all the questions you've been asking, and I'll show you how you get the signals across the board. We'll be going over the vote, the bill, the July 4th, the July 5th, the drafting, everything you need to know. Then we cut to fifth stimulus, which raised your benefits up a lifetime. But what happened with that inflation rate today? It went the other direction. What's going on here? Did someone stay under the blow dryer in the San Francisco hair salons too long today? Because everything's just going crazy. And then we cut to the big money the viewers continue to get. It's a big night with $23,000 for Nisi, $12,000 for John. I want you to get all this big, incredible money across the board, across the sea, from the East Coast to the West Coast. Let's get to the breaking news starting right now on Evenings LA.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing? I almost made it to the weekend. I think we need to make it to the weekend. We've almost made it to the weekend, but I think we need to be in the weekend. I think we just all need a break from this. It's just, how's the weather where you are? It's just been wonderful weather here today in Southern California. In San Marco, it was just beautiful today. I hope the weather is good for where you are. Jump on the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from. And how's the weather? I don't think in a fourth stimulus check update would I have ever anticipated a day like this. There is so much breaking news. And it's like there's an alternate universe. The entire universe of this economy changed in 8 hours from yesterday to today. I will show you what flipped. Literally everything flipped. And it helps you. It helps you a lot. And I'll explain to all the details. First, we're going to go over the fourth stimulus check and the breaking news, why you may be getting more checks across the board. Then we'll go to the recon, where your checks allegedly are located, and why those Democrats really need to put a lot of other money in there right now, right away, because we're in big trouble with this new economic data. We need unemployment, we need mortgage, we need renters assistance, we need a lot of other things in there. If they don't, this is big trouble. Number three, we're going to go to the incredible details of what happened with that July 4th. I'll explain everything you need to know about July 4th, July 15th, what's going on with the vote, what's going on with the bill, and why hashtag write the bill is really coming back from 2020. Then we turn to fifth stimulus, and yeah, another shocker, as we had heard from Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, that inflation was going up and hit its highest point in December. Now it's going the reverse. What happened? It just all flipped on its head today. And then we got to the big money the viewers continue to get, like Nisi, who got $23,000, John, who got $10,000, $12,000, and Art Sullivan, who got 3 items. I'm going to show you how to get this big money, and this is LA. This is LA, and a big night of Evenings LA, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week. Financial news channel in America, live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Next up is Overnight's Crypto, then Evening's Crypto, and then Sirloin at 8 o'clock. Subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video and consider becoming a member. Let's get right into that breaking news about what's impacting this fourth stimulus check in a way we never saw coming no less than 2 weeks ago. It was the start of last week where I said, maybe things are changing. I had said up to last week, maybe those legislators may say the pandemic's over for the House bill, pandemic plus 1 year, and just give you 1 year of checks. And then late Thursday, everything changed last week. LA started it. Let's go over where we were first. It was House bill, pandemic plus 1 year monthly stimulus checks.
Then Senate July to December. Then let's go over the payouts, what they were. House $2,000 first month, $1,000 thereafter. Then Senate unknown monthly, but word on the street was this. Wow, now that's deliciousness. That's per person. $2,000 over 6 months, $12,000. Or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. We had been saying at the early part of last week, well, those legislators may think the pandemic is over, 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 and that would result in just 12 months of checks, which from the House bill would be $13,000. But as LA often is the case, LA County just seems to always be ahead of the trend. Nothing to be egomaniacal about, but just seems to happen. LA County a week ago on Thursday said that, no, the pandemic ain't over. The pandemic ain't over. We're reversing the mask guidelines. Warren Buffett said the pandemic ain't over. Then a day later, then the airline said the pandemic's not over. And then today, the whole universe just sort of changed. Everything just sort of said the pandemic ain't over today. And it said it in a massive way, left and right. China said, zing zang, that the policy signals that the economy is likely slowing in June because of the pandemic. Japan put on state of emergency, shutting all spectators at the Olympic Games because of Delta. And then the Treasury yields plummeting because of Delta. And then finally, in some Midwest states like Missouri, 80% capacity of ICU beds because of Delta. So suddenly, it was no longer an issue that maybe the pandemic is still going on. Now we're seeing, the pandemic's still going on, folks. So that would mean that you would potentially look at the House bill and say, well, wait a second. Pandemic plus 1 year, I think we're going to get the House. The House bill seems more logical. Pandemic plus 1 year if we're still going back into the pandemic with Delta. That's certainly more than $13,000. So compare it to this. I think you have an opinion. House of Senate. Jump in the live chat right now and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. Vote House of Senate, and I think your opinion may have changed. I know my opinion changed. It started to change, and now it's really changed. It's just moving very quickly. And the breaking news is not just that one story. I got 20 more stories to cover in this video. So who gets this fourth stimulus check? Democrats represent everyone who got third stimulus check gets a fourth stimulus check. Single individual, $75,000 or less, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check, double it. Family of four, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check would not be income. It's not taxable. The fourth stimulus check would be the same amount for adult dependents as everyone else. And the fourth stimulus check would not come in waves. So if you do see the stimulus check trying to surf tomorrow or body surf, and you see the check sort of just crashing into an octopus, don't take it out on the check. It's not a waveable check. It doesn't like the waves. Hey, check, I see it trying. Oh, you and the octopus are one and the same now. Octopusy. It's just not a waveable check. But now it's very good friends with the octopus. Fourth stimulus check can still land in the month of July, as the Democrats represent, and in the month of August, for the month of August. But Schumer and Pelosi said that the final vote would be by July 4th. So what happened? I'll explain that in the final 15 minutes of this video. It's the most comprehensive 15 minutes you will see on breaking details about the vote, the bill, and all the details. But in the second part of this fourth stimulus check update tonight, in this recording, we're going to go over the recon and why that recon has to have a lot more money in there because of what's happening today. It needs to have unemployment. It needs to have a lot of other stuff. And it could. And it may already have. I'll get to those incredible details coming up in a second. But first, here's a preview of the second half of this video. It's fifth stimulus. And fifth stimulus got a big flip. And the big flip was inflation going the other way. What? Inflation going down? You mean like down? Yeah, like insanely down. This signals that your benefits could go up next year, but not as up as next year. I'll have all the breaking news on that. That's coming up later in this video. But let's get some money. That's what this channel does. Get a pen and paper ready. And if it must be a Crayola crown, I am wearing Crayola blue tonight. Get a pen and paper ready. You need money, and I'm here to get you money. And this is what this channel does. This is what I do. I get people money. This is becoming very much like December 2020. Second stimulus was not passed. People were not getting yet their money, and they needed money. It was the holidays. So I stepped up. I got viewers $250,000, and they got that as well. Tyrone got for his family of four in Boston rent, $15,000. Paid all his bills all the way to March, April. It was wonderful.
and it just changed people's lives during the holidays. We're doing it again right now. And that's what I've done since day one. I got viewers $25 million of EIDL loans in April of last year. But you're doing an incredibly great job. Jump in the live chat right now and post every penny you've gotten from this channel. And if you posted before, post it again, whether it's rent, utilities, SNAP, internet. The numbers last night in this show, Evenings LA, were just incredible. And every night I say I'm going to bring my notes in from the show before and I forget to bring them in. I'll do it tomorrow. Your comments have been insane, incredible. There's Nisi, of course, who's got $23,000, $20,000 for rent, then utilities, and then SNAP. There's Art Sullivan, who got 3 items, rent, utilities, and internet. There's John, who got $12,000 for SNAP. But then we, last night on Evenings LA, had viewers, one after another, get $10,000 to $13,000 in rent. I was wrong. I said in these videos, rent is about $5,000 for 4 to 6 months of rent. I was wrong. You are you are killing it. You are defying the numbers I'm reporting and saying, no, I got a lot more. You have helped me get a lot more than that, Lalate, and I'm really excited for you. Viewers, I would say that you can get a couple $100 for utilities. They're disproving that and gain $3,000 what they're reporting. SNAP, I talk about a lot of viewers that say they got $6,000 to $7,000, but now we have a lot of viewers getting a lot more, like $10,000. If you got SNAP, post in the live chat the annualized amount you got for SNAP. And so get that pen and paper ready. Let's get some money. Let's do it. Let's get that big money right now. You're going to reach out to different places. Each place has their own eligibility. If one says no, reach out to the next. One may say no, and the next one will say yes. They have their own pot of money. You ready? Here we go. You're going to reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county housing authority, your state hall, your state housing authority. The keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage assistance, or utility assistance because of COVID. You don't say words they don't know, like stimulus. They don't know stimulus. They don't know range of options, or color wheel, or muddle blue. They don't know those words. And they don't know Mitch's mixtape drop tape. They don't want to know it. Their ears don't want to know it. Ouch. It's just, yeah, can I get some cotton for this? Yeah, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to know it. And so don't say those words. Congratulations to Tim Melinda, who got this wonderful pot of money. The next pot of money is, of course, SNAP. John got $12,000 for SNAP. If you got SNAP, jump on the live chat and post what you got on an annualized basis. If you get $500 a month, post $6,000. It's just incredible. I'm so excited for you. But I want everyone else who's watching, who has not gotten it, to get it. I want the people who got it to inspire other people else. And if you got one item, I want you to get 3 other items right as well. So SNAP is money for food. How do you get the SNAP for money for food? From Department of Agriculture. Reach out to Department of Agriculture. Eligibility is the same as a stimulus check. If you qualify for a stimulus check, why would you pay for your own food? The federal government will pay for it. And why would you wait? Because it is now raised up 15% between now and December nationally, but it's not retroactive. So if you wait 3 months, you're not going to get back those 3 months. A family of 4 in Hawaii gets now upwards of $16,000 a year. It's incredible. So go get it. I'm so excited for you. Go get it. And you're getting $16,000 for SNAP for a family of 4 in Hawaii, $5,000 for rent at least. Lynn Glenn and Gail got this as well for SNAP. And we're only 13 minutes of this video. I got more money for you right now. It's the money coming back from your states due to overpayment of computer error. And one viewer 2 nights ago on this show dropped in the live chat and got $3,000. If you are that person, jump in there. And by the way, if anyone sees Chadwick, who is the viewer who inspired the return of Sirloin, who had the father, I believe his name was Chadwick, who had the father with the stage 3 cancer, can you get him to come back in the live chat? I want to personally thank him. So, boy, the SNAP has been wonderful, but also this. How much money is it? One viewer got $5,000 2 weeks earlier. Where is it coming back from? Your state due to computer error. Can you track it? Yeah, reach out to your respective states. Hey, state, where is my check due to computer error? And can you track it with a computer that actually works this time? And finally, the last wonderful pot of money is the money coming back from IRS. If you got this as well, jump on the live chat. Let's go over how much, where, when, and why. Why? Because you deserve it. The incredible money is the following. Let's say you had $9,000 of total unemployment benefits. You paid $5,000 of total taxes, of which $4,000 was your taxes on unemployment benefits. Congratulations, you're getting back $4,000. Where? Direct deposit. Otherwise in the mail. When? This month. Can you track it? Yeah, about 70% of the time you can. Go to irs.gov and do a transcript search, and it'll reveal stuff that you never knew before. It'll reveal stuff you don't want to know.
It'll reveal the tax return you filed, the tax you paid. Really, how does Mitch prepare his voice before he sings? He just screams when he sees Nancy. Does Mitch have a hairstylist for his world tour of his new mixtape? And finally, when are you getting back that refund check? Can we top that? We can. As we go into the second part of your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 tonight with all the incredible breaking news. First, let's go over where we are. It was 2 weeks ago on a Wednesday when the recon was split. I call it split day. Before that, we had a very large recon that had roads and bridges in there. And Nancy and Chuck said the vote would be by July 4th with roads and bridges in there. Something went wrong. What went wrong? They pulled the Democrat caucus and they said they won't support that recon. It was too big. So they met with the president, Nancy, Chuck, and Jalapal Daly, and the determination was to take roads and bridges out to make it passable. And they did on the split day, which was 2 Wednesdays ago. Created 2 paths, recon and bipartisan. Roads and bridges in bipartisan and the American people's monies in the recon. Roads and bridges in the bipartisan and the American people's money in the recon. That created a 2-path process. Now, why was this critical and a game changer with the 2-path process? Because now the recon was passable. What does passable mean? It means if you call for a vote, it would pass. If you called for a vote before, when it was with roads and bridges, it was too big, it would not pass. Now it's shrunk, it's passable. We have that confirmation from the GOP as well. A conservative publication a week ago had a wonderful op-ed where a person confirmed basically everything I've been reporting on this channel. The higher the price tag was for the recon, the harder it was to pass. There you go. And by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending and put it into the bipartisan, roads and bridges, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. Obviously. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable. Sorry, Mitch, set you up. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It is exactly right, this op-ed. There was nothing to gain by the GOP by blessing the bipartisan because it now enabled the recon to pass. Absolutely right. Now, here's where we get then to the recon. So here's what you need to know, and this is all breaking news tonight, is that the recon is written by Democrats for a Democratic vote, and ultimately they determine what's going in there. We have confirmation for the Democrats that they're adding things back in there. The recon has now shrunk by taking out roads and bridges, but they're not going back to their original size, maybe a little bit more. But they're adding new stuff in there. Well, they need to add certain things in there. First, let me go over the fact that they are adding stuff in there, and then I'll go over what the stuff should be or may be. So we have the confirmation they are adding stuff in there. Representative Richie Torres says he's adding in housing. What type of housing? We'll get to that in a second. I refuse to vote for any bill unless it's linked to a larger recon, he says. Then Representative Ilhan Omar says we have a commitment that regardless of what happens with the bipartisan, Congress will give us a recon that goes as far as we want it. There we go. And then the Progressive Caucus is meeting daily with the White House to confirm how big they want to go with the recon. So what is going on with adding stuff to the recon? Here's what you need to know is coming up in a second, I'm going to show you the Democrats have written in writing that they represent they're putting monthly stimulus checks in there. They can always take them out. They can take them out after the time of this recording. They can take them out tonight and, or if they weren't in there, they could put them back in there. But they're also confirming they're putting things in there. So that's why you have to push purple power. You can't ever hold a donut and just say, oh, everything's taken care of. They can change their mind. They can flip-flop their elected officials. But here's what you need to know is that they can also add other stuff in there. And they are. So Torres says they're adding in housing. What type of housing? We won't know. Here's the issue. The recon is written by the House subcommittees, the lead writers. And the House subcommittees are having the senators as the secondary writers. They're both Democrats. The House Ways and Means governs unemployment and stimulus checks. The Budget Committee delivers something else. The Education is another one. And they all write their certain parts. There's no constitutional requirement for them to disclose what they're writing. And there's no constitutional requirement for them to tell you what they're voting on or what they're changing or what they're doing. It's not like they're going to announce it on Ellen tonight. So there's no way to know. But here is what's happening today. And this is why you need to take the opportunity with the horns and go with it. Number one, there's an economic downturn occurring right now. Yeah, you didn't know it yesterday. Now we know it.
What? I thought we were recovering. Yeah, last Friday you saw the president doing a victory lap, saying, well, a lot of job creation, we're doing great. No, the economies of the world are now turning to the negative. China announced today that its economy is slowing. We think that the policy signal suggests the economy likely slowed in June, Zwing Zhang, chief economist at Pinpoint Asset Management. Japan, number 2, is on a state of emergency, banning spectators of the Olympic Games as Delta out of control. Number 3, in Missouri and other states, the ICU capacity is really near at high levels. Missouri's at 80% of ICU beds. So what's happening here in the United States? It's getting bad, the economy. It's reversing. Suddenly it's reversed. It's not rebounding. Suddenly it's retracting. It's getting smaller. It's going the other direction. What happened? The new jobless claims number was released this morning. If you've been with this channel for 60 weeks, you've seen I do it every Thursday morning. What you have to remember is jobless claims, new jobless claims means it's someone who had a job last week and was fired. It doesn't mean someone that's staying home that wants more money. This is a person who had a job, was fired. And the jobless claim number went through the roof. It means all these people were fired last week. And the week before, fired. People were lost their jobs. They were kicked out of their jobs in the last, not laid off. I should say laid off. Fired is the wrong term. They weren't fired because, they didn't wear the hairnet, while making the $12 ice cream. It's because they were laid off. They lost their jobs in the last week. Before the pandemic started, we were at 250,000 jobs, or 220. It zoomed up to 375. Wall Street expecting a high number of 350. It went to 373. Wall Street had a cow over this. The stock market crashed this morning because the number was so bad. And then, if that was even any worse, the 10-year Treasury note, which gauges inflation, did not go up, did not stay the same, did not go down, but plummeted. Meaning that it thought that there's not only no inflation, that we're going down, we're losing economic steam, that we're detracting, we're contracting. Ed Hyman, founder and chairman of Evercore, was shocked that the 10-year Treasury note fell by 1.25%. I can't believe I'm even saving that number. It's so shocking. The decline in the bond yields could be signaling that the inflation burst is transitory, and or the Delta variant will slow growth, although 1.25% this morning seemed extreme. So here's what you need to know is that those Democrats can put a lot of stuff in recon, and trust me, they better, because if they don't, they are setting themselves up for problems. They need to put FPUC in there. They need to PUA and PEUC. I have viewers asking about student loan forgiveness. They need to put it in there. They need to put rent. They need to put business grants. They need to put those things in there. You do not put those things in there and only think about children. Good luck on that midterm election, because this economy is not time for a victory lap for the president. We are going the other direction very quickly, and you need the right amount of stimulus right now. Now, the Democrats have the ability to do all this. We're talking about the recon. We're not talking about the bipartisan. The Democrats write the recon for the Democrats to be passed by the Democrats. And it doesn't cost a lot of money, first of all, to do it. Second of all, it does take a lot of time to change the recon, because a lot of these programs all these programs were embodied in previous laws. All they have to do is say, we extend the previous law. Even if it's expired, it just takes another line to say, we reactivate and extend it. It's 10 seconds to write the sentence. It's very easy. And they have the protection of the recon because Jalapal and Schatz confirm it. Schatz says the White House has repeatedly reassured him that White House considers the progressive priorities its own priorities in the recon. Good. And Jalapal says the president has supported her support of the recon. Well, Jalapal, you got to step up and you got to put this other money in there as well. They may have put this other money in there, but you have to push. And again, you can't assume that if checks are in there that they can stay in there. You have to keep on pushing to make sure they get it done. But how did we get to the spot from Jalapal? Jalapal had written this letter to Schumer saying, Chuck, call the vote. Call the vote on the recon. Now, the letter was signed by 12 House Democrats who were among the 100-plus, who had said they were going to put a monthly stimulus check in the fourth stimulus package. Wow, now that's good. Can we top that? We can. As about 7 House Democrats about a week ago wrote the president a letter directly and said, we are putting monthly stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus recon. Early in this video, I told you that the recon is written in subcommittees of the House. Well, these people are in a subcommittee of a House. In the case of forced stimulus checks or unemployment, it's done by the House Ways and Means Committee. That's the committee that these people are from that wrote the letter. And what did they say? They say they're doing monthly stimulus checks in the forced stimulus recon. That's great news, but don't hold that donut and just say, where's my stimulus check? You need to push, because these people can change their opinion in a moment. They could flip-flop. They could take it out, tomorrow, even though there's in there today. They wrote your third stimulus recon check earlier this year. They say they're writing a fifth stimulus recon check for next year. That's coming up. And they wrote your first and second before. That's really great news. Can we top that? We can. As the president this week got official confirmation, it's now official, that international agreement about corporate taxes has been signed. This is huge. Now, you may have seen him go overseas 3 weeks ago to sign it, but the official one was this week. This means that it's now easier to anchor forced stimulus recon to the edge of the finish line. The forced stimulus is paid for by raising corporate taxes, but the president was worried that if corporations saw higher taxes, they'll go overseas to a country with a lower corporate tax rate. That's now solved because the international agreement provides for a higher minimum corporate tax rate. In essence, to make it very simple, they don't need that language in the recon. They don't need to put it in the recon. It makes it easier to write the recon because the stuff is in the international agreement now. It makes it easier to write the recon, easier to call for a vote, and easier to pass it. Well, that sounds all wonderful. Can we top that? We can, as we go into the third and final 15 minutes of this video, which is astronomical. Can't miss the last 15 minutes where I go over everything you need to know about the vote, the bill, the date, the when, the how, the when, the how, and the when. You love the word when, don't you? Yeah, I know. We'll go over all those details coming up in a second, and the shocker about fifth stimulus with that inflationary rate. Oh, boy, that's a shocker. But first, is there something more wonderful? Yes, the volunteers. If you're watching this video, you've tried to get this money for rent, utilities, and you cannot find it, don't fret yourself. That's why we have volunteers. They're salt of the earth. They're viewers just like you, and they're just doing wonders. If you see people in the live chat, and use them as your inspiration. And if you are in the live chat and you haven't posted your success story, please post it. You inspire other people. Reach out to the volunteers to help you get that rent, utilities, internet, and SNAP. And they're in the description of this video. Open the description, you'll see an emoji of a house. Next to that emoji of a house is a link to the community page, news.lalate.com/community. Click the link and it'll send you over there. And I'll be back in 60 seconds with more about really the shockers about forced stimulus and the big one about fifth stimulus. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join Lalate Daily for the excitement of the new Lalate live daily. The excitement starts on mornings Lalate at 9 a.m. Home Lalate returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons Lalate at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on Lalate. And the excitement continues right now on Evenings LA with a big night across the board with so much happening. I'm excited for you to join me. Boy, forced stimulus is heating up with a shocking set of events and a lot of breaking news tonight. And we'll be going over fifth stimulus as well.
It's a big night with a lot of breaking news. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this channel. Hit that subscribe button. Like the video. Every like helps in the algorithm rankings. It also delivers a sign of your play. And consider becoming a member. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto. Stay with this video. It'll automatically take you there. Then Evening's Crypto and Sirloin at 8 o'clock. Let's get right into Fifth Stimulus right off the bat for a quick break because Fifth Stimulus got a major shocker today. Now, Fifth Stimulus is that SSI reform that Americans were promised during the campaign trail and then during the transition papers, but then didn't happen. What does this do? It does a lot more than that SS200. It will raise your benefits up one big time, then add a new inflationary benchmark, remove the asset limit, and then remove the income exclusion, remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over those calculations, but first, here's two things you need to know first about Fifth Stimulus. Yeah, there will be another stimulus check. It'll be next year. Same people are going to write it for the subcommittee. It will not overlap with the fourth stimulus. They'll take care of that. And second, the president has dedicated $1 billion to Social Security Administration to ensure your money goes out on time. This is fourth and fifth stimulus and monthly checks. This is huge. And finally, if you are missing a first, second, or third stimulus check, you need to do two things. File a tax return and request it on the tax return. There's actually a line item for it. If you need help with that, reach out to a tax preparer. All right, let's go to what happened today. It's just shocking. First, let's go over how this calculation works. For benefits, they would raise under fifth stimulus, raise your benefits up one big time. This is you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, multiple beneficiaries, or casino benefits. Then it'll apply a benchmark. That benchmark is inflation, and that benchmark is applied at the end of this year for next year. Now, every day, every single week, every minute, we always were told that inflation's going up. In fact, the one guy said, hey, inflation's going up. And who was that number one guy? Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve. And Jay Powell said that the inflation rate is going up and reaching its highest point in December. Well, I wonder where Jay Powell is today. Because today, Wall Street said, no, inflation's not going up. It's not reaching its highest price point in December. In fact, it's actually going down. What? Yeah, so Wall Street today, based upon the jobless claims number, what's going on with world economies, world stock markets are all crashing, said that this might be the end of the inflation run and that we're going the other direction. What? I mean, pinch me, because it's like, ow. It's like, pinch me. What are you talking about? This feels like altered universe. It's just 8 hours ago, the universe changed. Here's what happened. The 10-year Treasury note, which is an inflation number, it gives you where inflation is going, went down. Did it go down a few percent? Or, did it go down like 0.25% or 0.5%? No, it went down 1.25%. That's huge. In just a few hours? It's astronomical. This decline in the bond yields could be signaling that the inflation burst is transitory, meaning that the inflation rise is temporary and that's over. And or the Delta variant will slow growth, although at 1.25% this morning, it seems extreme, says Ed Heyman, head of Evercore. Incredible. So we still have to see how this inflation rate is going to be later this year, but it may not be a big, bold number, and it may not be as big as we thought. First, it'll raise your benefits up, then they'll apply that benchmark. And the inflation rate is a positive number. It'll step your benefits up, not just next year, but lifetime. Then they'll remove the asset cap dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't stay on benefits and have more than $3,000 on hand. Now you'll be able to have some Crayola crowns in your hand and some stimulus checks. They're going to remove the income cap dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to win. Love is going to win. The marriage penalty is going to win? No, the marriage penalty is going to lose. Love is going to win. And you'll be able to marry your long-time love interest and no longer fear the marriage penalty. Viewers like Rob and Sandy will no longer fear the marriage penalty. It would not be retroactive. And there you go. That's fifth stimulus. If you're a viewer of this channel and you're watching and you have not gotten this big money for rent, utilities, but you see the people posting it in the live chat, and you see them with a purple hawk next to their name, what is going on? They're members. Consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat in the pinned comment. There's also a join button under the video. Members are delivered from me to you daily. What's in third stimulus? So you can get it. It's thousands of dollars that a lot of viewers qualify for. When third stimulus passed, I said, yeah, you get $1,400 stimulus check, but I can try to get you $14,000. And most viewers qualify for these big sums of money. So consider becoming a member to get the big sums of money. All right, here we go. Final 15 minutes of this video.
And boy, it's a big one. Here we go. Let's start with the first one. First item of business. Chuck and Nancy and that July 4th date. All right. Chuck and Nancy said 1,000 times, the final vote on the recon will be by July 4th. What happened? So they said that the final vote, meaning all the voting, would be done by July 4th, not on July 4th, for the recon. So it didn't happen. Why not? Because the recon was not passable. The recon at that point was too big. It had roads and bridges. When they made the comment, the recon had roads and bridges in there. It was not passable. To which I would say, okay, but you split it before July 4th. You took out the roads and bridges and shrunk the recon by July 4th. So why did you not call it for a vote before July 4th? You took the roads and bridges out. Oh, because they have to call the vote for the recon and the bipartisan. Okay. Well, how do we do that? Well, Democrats and Republicans agree. They have to. The only way you're going to pass the recon is the recon's called for a vote first or concurrently with the bipartisan. Okay. So, well, the recon is finished being written, right? Most Democrats have represented that the recon is finished writing or close to being finished writing. It's very on the edge of being finished. Okay, so why not call the recon still for a vote before July 4th? Why did they not call for a vote then? Because the bipartisan wasn't ready. What do you mean wasn't ready? It wasn't written? What do you mean it wasn't written? Yeah, so that revelation has now come out. The bipartisan was not written. And the person to blame? The President of the United States. He met with Shelley Moore Capito, the Republican negotiator, in June, and ultimately those negotiations fell apart. But every time she met with him, she had nothing written. He had nothing written. He had that binder, but he had nothing written. They had no bill. They had no proposal. They had nothing written. And so when those negotiations fell apart, he started meeting with the bipartisan group. And guess what? Same thing again. They had nothing written. Republicans and Democrats had nothing written. They had no bill written. They had no proposal even written. Okay. To which I would say, well, then just call the recon for a vote now. You can call it for a vote now. And when you get to the bipartisan, when it's written, then call the vote for the bipartisan. I mean, to which I would say, I would even say it to their face, the road and the bridge has been crumbling for 50 years. You can call that vote in a month from now. We need the checks to go out now. You can call the vote for the road and bridge 5 months from now. It's going to be crumbling then, and it was crumbling yesterday. It'll still be crumbling. But we need checks now. We need to eat. So, yeah, they did ask that question among themselves. And what happened? So there are certain Democrats that said, no, unless we take care of the crumbling bridge at the same time you eat, we're not doing it. What? Yeah. So while I said to you the recon has to be called for a vote before concurrently with the bipartisan, there are certain Democrats that says, well, when I mean concurrently, I mean pretty close in time. So not like a month or 2 months apart, close in time, maybe a few days or very close. Okay. To which I would say, I'm looking at my clock. You split the bill 2 Wednesdays ago. What have you done since 2 Wednesdays ago? How many pages do you write per day? A sentence a day? I mean, how slow do you write? To which now we all sort of sit back and say, okay, I got what's going on. This is 2020 all over again. Hashtag write the bill. It's unexcusable. It is disgraceful. It can't go on. These legislators are elected to legislate. They're elected to legislate. They're not there to knit a quilt. They're there to legislate. If it takes you 500 years to write one sentence, I mean, you need to find another profession. And not on our tax dollars. You need to find another profession because you need to write a little bit faster than how you're writing. Or get rid of the typewriter and get a computer and actually has some keyboards that moves. It's just waiting from 2 Wednesdays ago to now, and it's still not finished written. Getting it done is critical. So that's what's going on with that. Next, I've had viewers ask me about July 15th. I love my other viewers because my other viewers know everything. July 15th has nothing to do with forced stimulus. This is a video about forced stimulus. July 15th is third stimulus checks for children. I don't cover third stimulus checks for children in this channel really much anymore. So that July 15th has nothing with forced stimulus. Next, the vote. So I've had some people sort of pass through and say, okay, so they can call the vote tomorrow and then send out the check. No, not a democracy. Maybe in a dictatorship. Here's what you need to know: is that in the United States Congress, you have to have the Senate and the House vote on everything, and then the president sign it. To which someone will say, "Well, that's just 2 days. Just 2 days, and then get Senate out." No, because we have three bills. Three bills? Yeah. You have a recon substantive, you have a recon bipartisan, and you have a recon procedural, a recon substantive, and a bipartisan to vote on. So I made this video a lot a month ago or 2 months ago, and I haven't done it lately, but I had to bring it back because people are asking how many days to vote. There are 12 steps. It does not take 12 days to do 12 steps. You can do it quicker, but there's 12 steps. Each bill requires 4 steps, at least. Subcommittee of the Senate, then the Senate floor, then the House, then the President. That's 4 steps. They got to do that 3 times, 12 steps. So they got to do 12 steps. So there you go. Here you see why it's important to push, because this inability to get the bipartisan written as quickly as it should be written, and to hold up the recon because something else that's crumbling has been crumbling for 50 years, is just ridiculous. I mean, I gotta say, it's ridiculous. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We should not be worrying about a bridge that's been crumbling for 100 years. We should be taking care of what's an urgent issue right now. And this just sounds like you are really not focusing on urgency. Now, here is the good news also to end on, is that we're opportunistic people. And this is really bad economic data today. Jobless claims number surging. Stock markets crashing. World economies crashing. Treasury yield falling by 1.25%. The president a week ago was taking a victory lap. Okay, not time to stop taking the victory lap. This is bad economic data. To which what you should be doing? You should be taking this economic data and using it for your advantage. The recon can have more stuff in it. Democrats are writing for Democrats for voting for Democrats. They can take stimulus checks out at any second. They can put them back in, but they say they're adding stuff in. So add in the stuff that solves these problems. There's problems now. Don't think the problems are gone. The problems are back or never went away. PEUC, PUA, FPUC need to be in there. Housing and rent need to be in there. Don't solve one stimulus. Don't send out one type of stimulus and not do other types of stimulus as well. I had one viewer in the noontime outlet, Diane Davis, I can't remember her last name. Brilliant question. She said, can they do this in a way for that unemployment so we go around the Republican governors? Sure. They could say FPUC is paid directly to you from the federal government via IRS. Absolutely. Done. There's a lot of things they could do. And trust me, it's very easy to put this in the recon because these are existing laws. All they have to say is the law of 2020 is reinstated for another 6 months, or the law of 2020, which is still not expired, is extended for 20 more months or 10 more months or whatever it is. It's very easy. Done. It's like one sentence. Hashtag write the bill. You need to push Purple Power, number one. You need to push to have them include anything that you think that needs to be included. And if I left something out, my apologies. You need to push them to get that included as well. Whether it's rent, utilities, mortgage forgiveness, student loan debt forgiveness, absolutely. Finally, a personal message. I think that this is going to be sort of like the break even, the telling tale of whether the president gets things done right or wrong. You have the pandemic suddenly in just 24 hours really change very quickly as to the economy. We don't even have Delta out of control yet. We're just dealing with economic downturning suddenly. And the president is not spending money in as many places as he should. He's a Democrat. They're known for spending. Go spend some money the right place. And while all those items I covered are he's spending money on, he's also not spending money in other places. He needs to spend money on businesses. He promised the American people a lot of money. He promised people, how about put the SS200 in there? How about I didn't mention that on afternoons. I should have mentioned it. Why not put the money for seniors in here, SS200, like Pete, I forgot his name, a wonderful representative from, I think it's Oregon, said, put more money in here for seniors right now. Where is the money to go start a business? You appeared on prime time after you're elected saying there's going to be money in the third stimulus to start a new business. Guess what? We need new businesses. The businesses that are existing laid off 333,000 people last week. There's a reason why they're laying off. You're not giving them business grants. The EIDL grant, no one got an EIDL grant from third stimulus. They need business grants for new businesses, for existing businesses. You need loans. You need PPP. You need forgivable loans.
the president is not spending money in as many places as he needs to spend the money. And if he doesn't do that now, and we start to see a reversion, and he's focusing on a bridge and an electric vehicle charging station, Lord, get the priorities straight. As they say, his priorities are their priorities, but get the priorities straight. The bridge is crumbling, but you need to take care of your American people, and I don't mean the children. I don't mean the infants. I mean people that have to pay their bills. And with that, thank you for joining me on this Big Evenings LA broadcast. It's one of these days where there's so much breaking news and I couldn't cover it all. I'll have more for you on Early Mornings LA next, tomorrow morning. But coming up right after this is Overnight's Crypto. Stay on this video. It'll send you automatically into Overnight's Crypto. And here's what you need to know is that when things start to implode, like the economy downturning, stocks downturning, crypto's crashing. Everything starts to domino, and suddenly the videos all sort of merge because the videos are all related. That's coming up with the breaking news on the Overnight's Crypto as why the problems the president's not taking care of is now affecting actually crypto. And then we go into Overnight's LA. Then we go into Evening's Crypto, followed by Sirloin. And if you find Chadwick, who gave me the inspiration to bring back Sirloin, I believe that was the spelling of his name. I found him in a live chat 2 weeks ago. Please send him over. He had to follow with the stage 3 cancer. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this channel. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, and please, please get this big money. Get this money, the rent, the utilities, the food, the internet. It is there for you. Money is money. Consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the channel, pinned comment, so you learn about that money and get it right away. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay here for Overnight's Crypto.